The undervalued altcoins in this video are not just from me, they're also from you. Yes, you, the channel community members. Over the course of the last 5 to 10 videos, I've asked you guys to leave your altcoin picks in the comment sections down below. Today, we will be going over some of those undervalued altcoin picks and some of my own. We'll also be grading them on a scale of A to F, obviously A being the best and F being the worst, with a solid price range that you guys should be picking up these altcoins at. So without any further ado, let's get into it. The first altcoin on this list is from Genuine ICO, and he is invested in Volta. Volta is a blockchain for everything finance, customer payments, wealth management, insurance, and much, much more. Now, one of the pros for investing in something like Volta is that it is building a finance-specific blockchain. It's also providing insurance solutions like for cars and houses, which is a massive addressable market. There is one catch when it comes to Volta, and that it's actually rebranded from EOS, which is a blockchain that's been around for a while, and it completely rebranded and completely shift its focus. So one of the cons is that it has rebranded, and if investors know this, then it'll be a little bit harder for them to take another chance on it. It doesn't mean that these people are right. It just means that it's going to be harder for the market to accept it when people figure out that it is EOS, just a new wrapper on it, even though this made a complete shift and change. They're dealing with Web3 banking and a lot of different things when it comes to finance, of course. Now, taking a quick look at the actual site, you might have seen it a second ago, but I want to point out a few key things that the site is actually very clean. And if they're able to pull off what they're talking about, this could be massive for the Volta network, dealing with everything Web3 banking. Imagine they were able to get a lot of that money that's coming in from stable coins and real world assets as far as like the stock market, and putting insurance on chain, which is huge, having things like health insurance, car insurance, housing insurance on chain. That's a massive addressable market. There's a lot of things that could potentially go very well for something like Volta because, in my opinion, they're in one of the best narratives. Now, looking at Volta, I personally like Volta and what they're doing. I would honestly give it a B+. I also do like the fact that they have $168 million in locked TVL. And me personally, I'd be looking to pick it up at anywhere between a $450 million market cap and a $550 million market cap. It is currently sitting at $750 million. Now, also understanding that the TVL is roughly a 1 to 4 when it comes to the market cap to TVL ratio, which is not so bad at all, which is why I'm giving Volta a B+. This next token is from Bandy Masha, huge subscriber. Big thanks to him as well. He comments on a lot of the videos. He's very active in the community. He wanted to present IXS today. So a quick description for IXS is that it's an institutional grade tokenization SaaS, which means software as a service, that enables secure, compliant lifestyle management of the RWA lifecycle. It also has a launchpad for individuals where they release high grade RWA projects. One of the pros is that it is on Base, and if you know me, you know I love Base. I think this is the most sought after chain. This cycle, there is nothing, in my opinion, that comes close to investing on Base. You're going to find the best opportunities on there. It is also trying to bring finance on chains, similar to the last project we were talking about. So they also understand here at IXS that it is a massive addressable market, and if you're able to pull even a slight fraction, you could have billions and billions of dollars in evaluation. And this token currently is only sitting at a $27.7 million market cap, so they have a ways to go if they're able to grab some of that market share. One of the cons is that it has a low trading volume and also a TVL that isn't that great. But what I will say is that when the market starts to pick up and we start to see more money flowing back into the crypto markets, these numbers will surely rise. So it isn't too much of a negative, but I definitely would like to see them pick that up. So with that being said, I think that marketing is one of its biggest challenges and one of the biggest hills to climb in terms of IXS. Now for the grade, I would like to give it a B grade. Isn't as good as Volta. Volta's had a team that's been around for a lot longer. Yes, they rebranded. Yes, they shifted focus, but IXS is a smaller market cap. And like I said, we need to see that TVL and that trading volume kick up just a little bit for me to feel more comfortable to give it a higher grade. And a price level that you can look to pick it up at is around 0.068 cents. So I'm seeing massive support at that level, which would be a great price point to pick up IXS at. Moving on into one of my own, yes, Turbo Finance has made an appearance in my videos again. Now, Turbo's Finance is on Sui. It is a DEX on Sui. And I personally love Turbo's Finance for multiple reasons. They have been building through sideways markets and the bear market. They have a meme coin launchpad similar to Pump.Fund. They call it Turbos.Fund. They also have a earn platform where you can obviously gain yield and provide liquidity. You have a launchpad that drops tokens, different types of AI tokens and RWAs and so on and so forth, gaming tokens, all that good stuff, DeFi plays as well. And they also have a bridge that you can can use to bridge assets to other networks as well. And I think the user interface is very sleek, it's very clean, which is why I like using something like Turbos on Sui. The only other competitor is Cetus, and Cetus had a massive hack recently, which I think is going to play very well for something like Turbos, because people that are looking to secure their assets somewhere safe while they're trying to gain yield are probably going to lean towards something like Turbos Finance. One of the pros for Turbos Finance is that they have $22 million locked in liquidity, and they're only sitting at a $2.4 million market cap, which is right around a 10x, we'll call it a 9x. Now, one of the cons for something like Turbos is that there's a lot of competition on Sui, but if they're able to grab a bit of market share, I definitely think they can take that away from Cetus and other dexes on Sui. But obviously, I'm going to give Turbos A minus, and a good price level to pick it up at would be anywhere between the $1.6 to $2.2 million price level. Before we get into the next channel members altcoin picks, subscribe and leave a comment down below about some of your altcoin picks if you haven't already. You may just be featured in a video in the near future, but let's get back to it. This next altcoin is from Jamie Fawcett, and he decided to present us with Toshi. Now, this is something I've talked about before, and it's also on the base chain. Understanding that Toshi is Brian Armstrong's cat, it's named after Brian Armstrong's cat. It is a meme coin on the base chain, and I think for those reasons, it's in a very strong narrative as far as meme coins go. It's also listed on some of the biggest exchanges as well. As you can see here, it's already listed on Coinbase, BitUnex, KuCoin, Bybit. So understanding that the normies that come into the space are gonna be able to easily access this token is obviously a positive. The chart also looks very healthy, which is another good positive metric that I like to look at. Not to mention that the trading volume is still very strong. That means the attention is still there for something like Toshi. And mind you, this is no hate, nothing personal, but you know I don't particularly favor meme coins, so I'm gonna have to give Toshi a C+, okay? It's just personally not my cup of tea. But a good price level to pick up Toshi at would be anywhere from the $60 to $90 million market cap, currently sitting at a $222 million market cap, so you can do the math for yourself on that one. The next altcoin comes from Matthew Granger, and he has decided to bless our comment sections with Graphane. Now, there's not much to be said about Graphane. It's an AI agent altcoin, and yeah, that's about it, honestly. The site says everything for itself. There isn't much going on here either. I think that it's in a good narrative. A lot of the hype for AI agents has been there. I think it'll also come back in the future. And it's simple and easy for most people to understand. Now, unfortunately, one of the cons for this is that it is a very bare bones website. I would like to see a lot more effort put into the website. This is literally it. You can obviously go and check it out on mobile and see the docs, but other than that, there isn't really much else to look at. The chart also looks pretty depressing. They've had highs of around over $500 million in market cap, and are now sitting around 10x, a little over 10x below that at $41 million. So they don't have the best looking chart either, which is one of the cons for this. So with all that being said, I would like to give Graphane a C. I think once the bull market kicks off again, it'll do well. And mind you, all these tokens, regardless of the grade I'm giving them, are all probably going to perform in the heat of a bull market. So I would like you to pick up Graphane at the $5 million to $8 million market cap, if it even gets there. The next one on the list is from yours truly. This is Alien Base. This is a DEX on base. It's had a massive fall off as well. The chart is actually nearing support levels as well. So I think this would be a token to put on your radar. It's also on the base chain, and it also offers a lot of the same features as Turbos Finance does, so we don't need to go into the website and everything like that again. One of the pros for Alien Base is that it's constantly building, and it's one of the most used dexes on base. One of the cons for something like Alien Base though is that it also has a lot of competition on base as far as Aerodrome and some other dexes as well. But understanding that in prior cycles with Binance, we've had tokens like PancakeSwap and BuySwap and a couple others on Binance last run in 2021 do very well. That's not to say that multiple dexes can't succeed in the midst of a bull market, so I have to see what happens with Alien Base and the other dexes on the base chain. I would like to give Alien Base a B+. They just rebranded the site and made the site look a lot more vibrant and cleaner, so that's important as well. But I think a good price point to pick up Alien Base would be anywhere from the $5 to $8 million market cap. The next token from Jen Dean. Okay, I'm assuming you're a female, but if not, please correct me in the comment section. And Jen Dean has offered us Omega X Health. Now, to keep it simple, Omega X Health is an AI doctor that personalizes your medicine and your medical history and also provides a place to put your medical records on chain. So they're actually doing a lot, and this is very, very interesting for me because I see a lot of potential in a field like this. Interesting concept, extremely innovative, and it also has the benefit of being a first mover, which is also always a good thing. One of the cons is that this might be super early to this niche. Unfortunately, I think it's just something that'll probably pick up in the next cycle, and more than likely in 2 cycles from now. I think it's very early on stuff like this. I don't think people are even ready for this, but who knows, it could take off this cycle, which would be great because I do love the concept and I think it's extremely innovative, and this is one that I'm actually going to add to my watch list. Now, overall, it would have got a higher grade than a B minus, but it's getting a B minus because we're still, I think, a little too early for something like this to take hold in the marketplace, but I may be wrong, so we'll have to see what happens. And a good price point to pick this up at would be the 750K level to around the $1 million level. This next token is from Carl MJ16, and he has provided us with ZBCN. Now, a quick description of ZBCN is that it's an RWA platform for payments, things like payroll, cross-border remittance, interoperable blockchain on its own DePIN network, which is pretty exciting as well. And it has massive partnerships. And we can actually see some of those partnerships down here as well. Something like Gemini, Coinbase Ventures, and Circle are absolutely massive. And Republic Capital as well is pretty good too. So not to mention, if you're looking at an altcoin like this that's trying to address real-time payroll, right? And cross-border remittance. Everybody on the planet has a job or had a job at one point, right? So to have something like payroll completely on chain is a massive addressable market. A lot of money if they're able to get in all those inflows and have real-time payroll. Imagine being able to be paid by the day instead of having to wait by bi-weekly or weekly, or even possibly paid by the hour or even the minute that you work, right? Money's being deposited to your account. That's something only possible on blockchain, and ZBEC network is actually one of the platforms trying to build this out, and I think it's a great idea. Real-world asset as well, obviously. Great idea. Very, very impressed with this find, I'll be honest with you. Now, one of the cons is that this network is built out on Solana, and Solana, as we know, has a lot of outages, and for something like this to run smoothly, it needs to be on a reliable platform. I think something like either Ethereum, Base, Sui, even Arbitrum would have been a better platform for ZBEC to be built on, but regardless, still going to give it an A grade. Now, this is the highest grade so far because I'm just blown away at the fact that they offer real-time payroll. So the ability for someone to get paid instantly by the minute is just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Now, you can also pick it up at anywhere from a $120 million market cap to $155 million market cap, currently sitting at $253 million market cap. I just picked up some of the key support levels if it was to fall down there, which is why I have it at that particular price range. Now, the next altcoin is from Luna's Life. Shout out to you as well. And Luna's Life offered us up RSR token. Now, to keep it very simple, RSR is a place where you can go and invest in ETFs on chain. I think that this is one of the biggest financial instruments in TradFi. It's not even that I think, it's a fact that it's one of the biggest financial instruments in TradFi. So to have a platform that does that on the crypto side, very interesting. And again, massive addressable market. I think that is one of the most overlooked things when it comes to a lot of altcoin picks, but you guys are very smart. This community is very smart. They know what they're talking about, and I'm not surprised at the quality of altcoins that I brought you today from the comment section because you guys know what you're talking about. Very educated audience. Very good job. We're not done yet, but very good job. I felt like I had to say that. Now, they also have $364 million in assets in reserve, so aka TVL, which is also very strong. Now, when looking at the market cap for reserve rights, it's sitting at a $396 million market cap, which is actually almost a 1-for-1 in TVL, which is spot on. Not to mention that they're also bringing in $9.8 million in revenue annually, which is also very good as well. Now, one of the cons for this token is that it's had its first hype cycle already. Up till this point, we haven't been able to breach that prior all-time high. And the RWA narrative hasn't had a real time to shine yet as far as like price appreciation and real altcoin mania. So we'll definitely see higher price levels for something like RSR. Understanding that RWAs are going to be massive and tokenization is going to be massive, I can definitely see something like RSR doing very well this cycle as well. Now, I just want to say quickly, thank you guys for posting your altcoin picks in the comment section below. I will be doing more of these videos in the future, so post your altcoin picks in the comment sections below this video and future videos, because I'll be compiling all of them into my next video and future videos. But with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.